Hi everyone! In this video, we will find type 1 and type 2 errors for a hypothesis test. Suppose a pharmaceutical company claims that their new medication is effective in reducing blood pressure in 90% of cases. The null hypothesis is that the medication is effective 90% of the time. And the alternative hypothesis is that it is effective less than 90% of the time. What is the type 1 error in this scenario? To keep the type 1 and type 2 errors clear, I like to write it out. Type 1, type 2, and going in the same order of 1 and 2, we often use the phrase true or false. We don't say the phrase false or true, so we go in the same order, true and false, in reference to the null hypothesis. And because we are dealing with an error, it means that we identify it incorrectly. So type 1 errors are if the null hypothesis is true, but we reject it. This type 2 errors are that the null hypothesis is false and we fail to reject. Let's go ahead and identify the null hypothesis. The null hypothesis states that the medication is effective 90% of the time. So our null hypothesis is that the average equals 0.9. The alternative hypothesis is that the medication is effective less than 90% of the time. So we will have a less than 0.9. Now again, the type 1 error is that the null hypothesis is true, but we reject it and we accept the alternative. So the alternative is that it is less than 90%. So a type 1 error would be concluding that the medication is effective less than 90% of the time. When actually the pharmaceutical company's claim is true, that their medication is effective 90% of the time. We've now identified the type 1 error for this hypothesis test, and we're all done.